Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect Tabernacle of David out there listening and learning, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahushai. So back in the news with the war report and war update. Things are continuing to escalate in West Asia, or the so-called Middle East. So just yesterday, the leader of Hamas was put to death, by an Israeli drone strike. Okay, so now Iran is coming out and saying that there will be severe consequences, that Israel is going to be punished due to this, killing. All right. So we always go into it. We're in a time that has never been seen before, and afterwards will not be seen again. See what's going on in that so-called Middle East region is going to affect the whole of the earth. It's going to affect all nations, because once Iran makes that move to go against Israel in a full-scale war, and it is coming. It's not if, but when. All right, when this happens, all right, because you have Russia, China, those kings of the East that are joined to Iran, all right? And we already know that pretty much those Eastern kings, they have an evil eye towards Israel already. So when Iran gets involved in that fighting in that region, goes full scale, it's going to draw in the other players as well. And it's going to be a widespread regional conflict. These are the times that we're coming upon very shortly. The Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has vowed to avenge the death of Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh, who was killed in a missile strike in Tehran on Wednesday. Khamenei warned that Israel will be severely punished for the assassination of the Hamas leader. Most countries throughout the region have blamed Israel for the attack, but the Jewish state has not made any official comments. In a separate statement, Khamenei promised, quote, harsh punishment for Israel over Haniyeh's killing, claiming that, quote, the criminal and terrorist Zionist regime martyred our dear guest in our house and made us bereaved, but it has also prepared the ground for a harsh punishment for itself. And see, really, Israel and America, Babylon the Great, they've been going at Iran hardcore. And so meanwhile, while this Olympics distraction and niggas worried about how many points, Bronny gonna score. Oh, is he gonna score, 30 plus this game? All that BS, man. All these things are distraction, bread, and circus. These are the things that's going on that they not talking about on the mainstream news, okay? And much less that, they not gonna tell you what this is really leading to. They're not telling you that this is an escalation of World War III, the inevitable war to end all wars. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has also condemned the strike on Haniyeh's residence in Tehran, vowing to defend the Islamic Republic's territorial integrity, honor, and dignity, and make the terrorist occupiers regret their cowardly action. So you see, so they calling them cowards, basically saying that y'all doing ground Slovakia, that y'all doing drone strikes, but y'all don't want to come up against us straight up and fight us like men. Right? So now Iran has thrown inciting words out there. All right, cowardice. You see? But Iran is vowing revenge, right, for the killing of their Hamas chief. And also when they killed Soleimani under the I believe that was Trump, I think it was Trump or Biden was in office when that happened. Probably Trump more than likely. But when they killed Soleimani, that was also a big deal. Okay, so Iran is pretty much fed up. They ready to go to war, and you best believe that they getting the missiles ready, that they getting the troops ready, and that when need, when that need comes, they gonna call on Russia. You see, to support them and aid their war. Okay, let's also go here as well. Even the cockroaches won't survive. Expert discusses Hezbollah's new EMP weapon. So check this out right now. Since this has happened, the Iranians have also been put it out there to, let it be known that they will use an EMP or perform a cyber attack that will affect the Israeli grid system as well as America, pretty much the whole of the West, but mainly Israel, and America is the main target. You see? So we're in some very dangerous times where if an EMP is detonated over America, you're going to see chaos happen overnight, because an EMP is not something that you can prepare for. And an EMP is pretty much an element of surprise type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be very stealthy to pull that off. You know what I'm saying? But in the event when that EMP strike does occur, the elites, they're going to try to spin the narrative and say, oh, it was this entity, or it was Iran. Now, whether Iran really does this, or they're just buying time. We already know, however it goes, that the lights are going to go out. The WEF and Klaus Schwab, they've been speaking about it recently, that there is going to be a cyber attack and a grid outage. So more than likely, this is going to come from these top elite devils, and they're going to blame it on Iran. Right? Because that's one thing about the Western media. There's a lot of propaganda in these things, but we do know that Iran would have motive to do this, but it really don't matter. All right? What really matters is that the lights are going to go out, chaos is going to ensue, and this is going to be a reset for this whole system to bring in this NWO. All right? The Kuwaiti newspaper Al Jarida reported that Iran has supplied Hezbollah and other Iranian proxy forces with electromagnetic ordnance, which can disable communication systems and shut down radars. Rotem Meital, CEO of Asgard Systems, a company developing military technology for the defense industry and the initiator of the 30U30 in defense competition for 2024, discussed the issue. All right. Where is the threat aimed? I suspect the threat is more focused on bases, strategic facilities, desalination systems, and the Israeli power grid. However, it's impossible to say precisely, as such a weapon has never been used in history, so there are no sources or references to learn from. And really, when they do this thing, they're not going to be worried about, let's hit this base. No, they're going to try to do as much damage as possible. You see, they're going to be trying to hit everything. They want a complete a complete blackout of the power grid. That's what an EMP is for. Now, can you have strategic EMPs that you can set up? Yeah, sure. But we're in a time where we're in a wider scale war, to where they're also going to try to target the infrastructure, and they're also going to want these certain nations to be in chaos, so that confusion can occur from within. You see, so this is all really coming from Yahweh Ishmael Rashad. Let's go into an EMP. EMP, electromagnetic pulse. All right. Yeah, so that's pretty much the abbreviation there, right? So it's pretty much like you would send up, I think it's like, I don't want to call it a bomb, but it's a detonation device that you would send up high into the atmosphere. All right, and you detonate it. It don't make a sound. It doesn't produce any gases or smoke or nothing like that. But you detonate it, and it gives out a certain frequency, and that frequency is high enough to pretty much fry all surrounding electrical facilities or grids or infrastructure that's set up for the purpose of a blackout. Now, we also know that there are Iranian sleeper cells in America. So could this be used as a catalyst to activate chaos inside of America with these sleeper cells? Yeah. See, and that's one thing about this time, man. Like there's more than one scenario that can erupt from an event. All right, like you have multiple outcomes. You see? So this is why this is a very dangerous time that we're living in, man, because these things are gonna happen all of a sudden, and nobody's gonna be prepared. You see, only really the elites are gonna know what's going on, but the rest of the population, they gonna bug out, and you already know it's gonna be a lot of death occurring. It's gonna be a lot of betrayal taking place. You know what I'm saying? The supermarkets are gonna be fried. You know what I'm saying? The food that's in there, people gonna go grab it up because they gonna understand that in the event of an EMP, you ain't gonna have police out here trying to keep law and order because it's gonna be too much going on. Police gonna be spread thin. As a matter of fact, a lot of police in that time is gonna walk off the job, man. All right, they're gonna be like, yo, I ain't signed up for this shit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, man, the hell with this. They gonna be trying to get themselves some food. You see, or trying to find something to spoil. So it ain't gonna be no law enforcement. It's not gonna be anybody that you can call because, of course, the grid is gonna be down. Cell phones are gonna be out. Ain't gonna be no internet. There's not gonna be no means of communication. You see, it's pretty much gonna be dog eat dog out here. All right, but people gonna make runs on the banks. They're gonna make runs on these food markets and things of that nature. And those who can't get their hands on these things, when they see somebody that does have it, they're going to have an evil eye, and more than likely, they're going to try to harm that person or put them to death if need be to get what they want. All right? And this is what the prepper community is actively preparing for. This inevitable moment that is coming. All hell is about to break loose. The ish is about to hit the fan, man. All right? Let's see here. Does it work like an electric wave or like conventional munitions and rockets? So this is going into how this thing works. It says the physics are the same in any way they choose to use such capability. But I suspect the model will likely be in the form of a low-flying UAV, much like the Iranian Houthi attack of the upgraded Samad 3 UAV, which struck near the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv last weekend. Only, instead of a kinetic warhead with gunpowder, the front of the UAV can be armed with an electromagnetic pulse activation mechanism, which is triggered during the UAV's flight and emits an EMP upon contact with the target. All right. So look, this is what's coming. Let's get a little bit more and get some precepts. It says here, in my personal opinion, not only is this an escalation on the map of potential threats, but it should also be regarded as close to a non-conventional weapon threat, just as no sovereign country would tolerate a non-conventional weapon threat. This is because in 2024, electronic processors manage and operate all the vital systems in the state of Israel: infrastructure, medical systems, security, and military applications. See that? So this would affect everything. All right, the infrastructure, the medical system, security, and military applications. So an EMP is pretty much going to send these countries back to the Stone Age, when they are used. Think of an analogy from the 1960s, which describes that in a nuclear explosion, only the cockroaches would survive. In the same vein, in an electromagnetic attack, The cockroaches, a nickname for electronic components and electrical circuits, will not survive this time. It will affect all of us in our daily lives and emergency preparedness. Like a poker game, when someone raises a bet on the table, everyone stops everything and looks him in the eye to understand his next move or whether he is bluffing. I think we need to look them in the eye. And one thing about it, Iran is not bluffing. Okay? The Lord put his spirit on these Carmanians, on these Persians, to ultimately raise up against the West. You see, so that's why all of this is going on in that region, man. This thing is coming to the inevitable. Okay? Let's get some precepts. Jeremiah 49, and let's start at verse 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." Now the least of the flock of Edom is Israel, the state of Israel, because the state of Israel was established officially in 1948. All right. So among the NATO allies, now Israel isn't officially in NATO, but NATO supports Israel. And NATO was primarily made up of Edomite nations. All right. So the least of the flock, the least of the beast, is Israel, which was established in 1948. So they are the least, they are the smallest, nation in that region. All right. So the least of the flock is drawing out the other aggressors to World War III. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So this is why Israel is the center focus in that region. And then they're really the ones that are, drawing these other nations into a wider scale war. All right, because Netanyahu, he whose real name is Benjamin Milkowski, the Lord put a spirit on him to pretty much keep this, escalation going, to actually ramp things up. Because, of course, if he stops the war, he's going to be brought up on war crimes, crimes against humanity, like we've done lessons, man, like them small hats over there, they doing some real demonic stuff to them Palestinians, man. Like, I'm talking some stuff like this shouldn't even be uttered, but that's what they got going on. So it's in Benjamin Netanyahu's, and not a Jew, should I say, in his best interest to keep this war going, so that he himself can avoid the courts, which are seeking to bring him up on crimes against humanity. Okay, and ultimately that's the spirit that Yahweh Shai put on him, to fulfill prophecy. Okay, let's go to Joel 3 and verse 9. "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." So among the Gentiles, man, the Lord is saying prepare for war. All right, wake up the mighty men. Gather together your armies. All right, beat your plowshares, which is a tool for farming. Beat those into swords, weapons of war. All right, and pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. These weaker nations in times past, all right, Iran and China and those North Korea, in times past, they was weak compared to the West, compared to the beast nations. But now they have the great equalizer. See, now they got nukes, now they got missiles, now they have great armies, now they have advanced technology that they now can compete on the world stage against the West. So this struggle that's happening is all from the Heavenly Father, man. All right, Yahweh Bashmel Shai is setting all this up because these nations are going to destroy each other. You know what I'm saying? World War III is going to happen. And in the midst of that, Yahweh Shai is going to come back. You can read about that in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right? In the midst of that, Yahweh Shai is going to come back. And he's going to destroy all these nations. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come. all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, which means Yahweh's judgment. Okay? For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So this is ultimately what it's all coming down to. And every day, every week, every month that goes by, listen, going into the latter months of this year, you're going to see the situation over there in the so-called Middle East ramp up. I mean, look, we're going into August now, and through the Spirit, I believe there's some very big events are going to happen in that region, and also in Babylon the Great, because you have the Democratic Convention coming up in August as well. So we just gotta wait and see what happens. But a lot is going on, and a lot more is to come. Isaiah 24, because going into that EMP, society is pretty much going to be done. Okay, so really, if they do this before the election, there might not even be an election. You know what I'm saying? They gonna put that on the back burner. Okay, but like I said, man, things are gonna get critical. You know what I'm saying? People gonna lose their minds. Food is gonna be scarce. You see, people are just gonna be in an overall lamenting state of mind, in a lamenting spirit, because the world that they see now is all gonna come to nothing. Okay, this is why the scriptures tell us to be pilgrims upon the earth, because through the Spirit, through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we understand that the time is coming where we're gonna have to leave this world behind and everything in it. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So this is why the earth is in the state that it's in, because the inhabitants thereof, the wicked of the earth, and at the top, the elites of Edom, even down to the common citizen, 2/3 Jake, in these heathen nations, they have, thumbed their nose up at the Most High, said F the Most High's laws, we're gonna do what we want to do, but yet America, it was touted as a Christian nation, right? That's obviously a lie, Yeah, and they've changed the ordinance, all the ordinances that the Most High set up. Esau say, no, we're gonna do it like this, Esau says, no, it's not right that a man and woman should be together, two men and two women, and a man can be with his dog, or a woman can marry her car, or whatever bugged out madness they got going on, man. Now you got transformers out here, all right, broken the everlasting covenant, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Yeah, so these wicked ass people are going to be made desolate, man, right? Because really their pride has them going on like they are, but very soon the Lord is going to humble them, right? He's going to make them desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And it tells you in Isaiah 66 that the Lord is coming back with flames of fire. Okay, the Lord is coming back to burn this place up, man. As the scriptures say, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and it's going to be few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languish, all the merry hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabrets cease, the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp cease. Yes, all the party and all the merry making, all the folly that's going on, all that's coming to an end. See, the Lord is about to turn up on Babylon the Great. Okay, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. And it tells you about that in Jeremiah the 51st chapter, right? That Babylon is falling. You know, that there's no balm that can be applied to this place that it can be healed. So this place is broken down, man. The city of confusion, Babylon the Great. You see, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And that's what's going to happen when this EMP take place. Really, you already seen it, but you have a pocket of individuals that still live relatively comfortable, you know, which is really the ultra wealthy. But even them, you know, the time is coming where even they are going to be in this state of mourning. All right. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So look, the scriptures already tell you, man, you know, these things that are going on geopolitically, this is what you should really be having your eye on in these last days, because this is what's going to lead to the bigger events. Okay. These things are going to lead to are leading, should I say, to the end of this world and the end of Esau society. So I'm gonna go ahead and end here. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.